Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to start by pulling an overall energy from my Animal Oracle deck. Okay, so that pops right out. Oh, wow. I love this card. White Raven Spirit. Trust in the magic. Okay, so let's get tarot and see where we want to go after that. Trust in the magic. Such a beautiful card. You know what's interesting? He almost has like peacock-like feathers, not with a color, but in the way that, I don't know if you can see that, in the way that they present just sort of like the shape of the peacock tail without the color, which is interesting because he's white. He's white, he's devoid of color, but then he has this peacock right around his, that's how I'm seeing it right now. I've never seen it that way before, so immediately seeing something about, you know, letting yourself be visible, because it's like the white, the white in a sense is, well, we'll see where this wants to go. Let me just pull another card. I'm also noticing 66, which for me is like, maybe for other people too, but you know, anchoring energy onto the earth, the goddess energy, the bringing it down, which is being seen, which is visible. Okay, so some kind of message around that. We're getting 4 of air and Ace of Wands, Ace of Fire, 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands. Okay, so what I'm feeling from this is like because look at her demeanor. She's a little bit, you know, she's kind of holding herself. She's healing, she's recuperating, but there's also sort of a hesitancy in her. Like she kind of doesn't want to come out. Look at these up on her head again. Something about that. She doesn't want to come out. She doesn't necessarily want to be seen. She wants to kind of blend into the background. She's not quite ready yet, perhaps. But here we have the Ace of Wands. This is my higher timeline card. This is the higher frequency. This is, you know, kind of where we're all going. So this is very much in your reading right now. This is very much, this might be a very new energy. You might have went through a shift recently, or an ordeal, or a change that you're kind of recovering and catching your breath from. But I'm really curious about this. I'm really curious about this peacock white. Maybe it's almost time to shine type of thing, but not quite yet. Let's keep going. I'm going to stick with the good tarot deck for a minute. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, so we get 3 cards. The King of Earth and the 4 of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Earth. So here it is again. Okay, here it is again, that kind of like 6/6 energy, bringing it down into the ground. But this is also sort of a self-protective card, where it's like you don't really want anything coming in right now. You just need to be, oh gosh, you just need to be with yourself. So when I was sitting out here earlier, I knew I was going to do your reading, and I was thinking about it. And there were just like, there was a green beetle here, which might connect with the 6/6, because again, the green and the, and I'm wearing green actually, and the anchoring, and then a butterfly went by. But the hit that I got from that, hi silly, this is a neighborhood dog coming. She's going to distract me a little bit. She's a little ragamuffin. Oh gosh. Okay. So, where was I? The butterfly. The immediate feeling, and here, look at this with her wings. The immediate feeling that I had, and now it's showing up in this reading, is that you're going through some kind of a shift that's requiring a lot of your focus and your attention. And so you're needing to pull yourself back from others, because this transformation, and you know, so there's the butterfly, right? This transformation is requiring your focus. It's requiring your energy. So now I'm understanding now why you are wanting to present, even though you have all this magic with you, you have all this, I'm getting chills, like, you know, the peacock, like the shine, you have so much to offer. But it's like right now, this energy that's coming in for you, this higher timeline energy is requiring you, it's requiring you, but you're also desiring it. And that's what's so beautiful. It's like we can trust our souls. Our desires come from our souls. So if we're desiring something, it's because it's what's in the highest good for us. But you might not be used to kind of pulling back and taking that time for yourself, because here it comes out with the 4 of Wands. This is a very communal card. This is celebration. This is, you know, getting together. My gosh, you know, depending on where you're at in the world, you know, it's summertime, or it's, you know, is it Christmas time? Is Christmas already passed in the southern hemisphere? But, you know, kind of that togetherness energy. You know, this fell out actually when the cards came. this one fell out kind of separate. So it's like, this is the energy that you're kind of used to, but right now you're needing to kind of pull back your energy. You're needing to stick to yourself. You're needing to be with your own thoughts, because what I'm feeling is to me, this is the most magical card in the Animal Tarot deck. Like this, whenever I get this card, I get so excited because it's just next level. It's kind of like this. It's next level. It's higher frequency. It's like you have access. I'm getting chills again to a certain type of energy and frequency and magnetism and magic. So again, that 6-6, that anchoring, that bringing it down onto the earth. Here's the King of Earth. Okay, he's the master manifester, as how I'm reading him right now. It's like he has it all. He knows how to do it here on the earth plane, and it's like that's really what this magic and this shift is about. Although it's a very higher frequency energy, it's really actually about anchoring it and bringing it down onto the earth, because it's coming out with this card here, bringing it down and anchoring it. But again, you're needing to pull back your energy. You're needing to pull back your energy, and there very much is absolutely a celebration on the other end of this, with in these higher frequencies on the earth, a real life celebration. But at this point, again, the message is this, and you're probably, what I'm feeling is you're probably already feeling this and maybe resisting it a little bit, because you're like, oh, perhaps, there are all these things I want to do, or maybe I had plans, or maybe I had a trip, or maybe I agreed to do something, but now I'm feeling to do this. I feel like the message so far in this reading is really to honor that kind of quiet whisper of what you need to do, even though you have all this light and magic. It's like your soul is asking you to kind of like step out of the limelight for a bit, and to be with yourself, and to allow this energy, because that's how you're actually anchoring it. Okay, so it's kind of a paradox, because you think, oh, I have this shine, I have this energy, I achieved this kind of new thing, I want to share it, I have it, why do I feel like I want to withdraw? The point is to be in celebration. The point is I'm feeling, unity consciousness, or whatever you're feeling, I want to share. But again, the paradox is in order to really anchor it, why do we want to share? It's an instinct. Again, it's a soul desire. But the real reason is because we want to anchor it. We want to anchor it on the earth, because that's what we're here to do. We're here, if you're listening to these readings, and you're obviously, resonating on that part of the wave where you're here in service, whether you know it or not, to anchor these higher energies. Anchor these higher energies that we have access to co-create with them, to bring them onto the earth plane in celebration and creation with others. Okay, so yes, that's the goal. However, how do we do that but to deeply, deeply get them integrated into ourselves? And so this is what this is asking of you right now, to kind of, again, pull back your energy. It might feel like a pause. It might feel like, well, what am I doing? I achieved this, I want to go out. But if you pay attention, the deeper pull is this, and to honor that, rather than to kind of judge yourself for it, or negate that desire, be confused by it because it's not what you normally feel. Listen to that soul whisper, because it's very much coming from this, like I set out in this reading, or at any time I get this card. It's like, this is to me the most powerful, most magical, most higher connected card. Okay, so this, and all these birds, those kind of bird and wing energies, being symbolic of the message, the higher message that can get covered up, especially if we're in this sort of like celebration energy, and we're around a lot of people and we're kind of distracted. So yeah, it feels like the spirit message really being in honoring the point I was trying to make, is when we're alone and we're kind of in our own energy and our own cave, there's no distractions, there's no pulls. And okay, so the other point that I wanted to make, that I was feeling, I'm glad this is coming back to me, is like, you're going next level. You've gone next level. And what I'm feeling from the people around you is they haven't yet. Like, you're kind of leading the way in this. Again, the highest, most magical card. This is you. And so I think part of why you're being asked, there's two messages coming through about this. Part of why you're being asked to pull your energy back from others and from the celebration is, one, because they're not quite a match to you yet. And so you need to really establish this within yourself. Okay, and so what does that mean? It's like you need to anchor it so that it's really, really deeply rooted. Again, this is him. He has deep roots on the earth. So it's like taking that time to let this really, really percolate down, sink in the whole way, rather than like, oh, I saw something, I'm gonna go share it. No, we're still we're still invisible. Why? One, because, you know, these other people, you have all these patterns with them, you have, you know, just things that you used to do. So this is another message that I'm really feeling in the collective energies, is that a lot of us are having our routines be a little bit different. And the way I feel this presenting in this is like your routine is very social and with a lot of people, and now it's the opposite where you're pulling back, and that's something very different. For some of us it might be like, you know, like for me, like I'm in a completely different setting, I'm not in my usual home, and like all my routines are off, and you know, all this. But there's collectively something really important about things being different, because it's allowing these energies to come in a way that they couldn't. And why? Because when we're in a routine and we're in a pattern and we're doing what we normally do, it's like we can kind of go on by rote. Whereas if things are a little bit different, our feelers are open more. Like this is kind of like a, you know, like a psychic card, the moth, you know, it's like your antennas. Look at her antennas. It's like your antennas are out a little bit more because you're not used to what you're doing. You're not just kind of like, okay, this is what I do, this is how I do it, you know, and you're just going about your day. That's kind of how another message of him, he can kind of be like that. Like he just does the same thing all the time. You know, this is the Capricorn male, you know, and it's like, yeah, you can kind of miss things, but when you're jarred up and you're doing things differently, you pick up on a lot more. And when you're picking up on a lot more, that's also that download energy where you're receiving things, you're receiving even more of this, you're receiving more than you would if you were kind of with the crowd. You were with the crowd, because then your attention and your frequency is pulled into this, because there's a strong magnetism with this. This is what you're used to, this is what you always do. So whether this is a crowd or whether this is just, you know, like busyness or like working or routine, maybe this energy is really like being called to retreat for a while, even just a weekend, take the weekend off, or take the day off, or take the night off, or whatever. You know, it could be brief, you know, however this applies to you. It could be really extreme, it could be a whole phase or the whole summer, or, you know, but any way to kind of pull back your energy, okay, so that you can really anchor this thing that you're receiving, but also to receive more, to have your antennas open to receive more than you would if you were with these people, because they're not having the access that you have. And again, this could be you know, a job, or even your family, like just needing to get away. So you can really pull through all this information. And again, the 6-6, which is very much that, to me at least, anchoring onto the earth. But how do we do that? We anchor it into our bodies. We anchor this frequency. We become so solid in it that when we do go back out and we do let our peacock feathers shine and flush out in all these colors. So what's interesting is that beetle, I think I mentioned it, I saw this beetle earlier when I was out here before he was doing the reading, and he's gone now, but he was this bright green and just like so vibrant. It's funny, I have this like bright green Andara sitting right here, you know, all these colors, you know, this vibrancy. So it's like that is the energy, this like vibrant green, this earth, this anchored, you know, and again, you know, so but just bringing it the whole way in you, so that when you do bring it out and you are in celebration with others, it doesn't knock you off at all. It doesn't make it take longer for you, because if you're, it's like asking you to really honor that which you're receiving, and you know, even her, like I was noticing these things on top of her head. It's like, this is another antenna. It's like, not only honor what you're receiving and really anchor it down, but allow yourself to receive more. Like really go into this, and you will be called to come back out. You know, you will be called to shine. I think that's why I was seeing so much of the green and the vibrant colors, and the beetle, and the beetles, that transformation, and the butterflies, that transformation. Is like you're not in the crunch part of the transformation. You're not in the you know, sort of like alchemy, that like that you know, the death part. You're in the birth part, but it's just wanting a little more time. It's wanting a little more time in the womb, you know, before you come out, so you can really make the most of it. Really make the most of it, so that when you do come, you can hold it. Let's see. Okay, I haven't. Oh my God, how long did I talk for? 14 minutes, and I'm still on that one deck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, 5 of Swords, yeah, and 6 of Cups. Okay, so the 5 of Swords, you know, this is often a card of like, you know, okay, so this is how we can be with other people. Like there can be patterns of competition, or patterns of like, oh, well, I don't want to do that because you know, the codependency, where you don't want to like really shine and really Okay, well that's interesting because here it's like, you are asking to be a little bit invisible because, if you do really shine and let that out, there could be this energy of, well, I don't want other people to think this of me, or I don't want to like overwhelm people, or I don't want to be like rejected, or I don't want to be left out, or whatever it is. Or, on the other hand, what we were just talking about, I don't want other people to like, kind of like pull down or distract me from this gorgeous thing that I'm doing, so there's a little bit of conflict with others, okay? And usually this card is like, I usually read it as like conflict within, whereas the Five of Wands I read as conflict without. But right now, this is kind of conflict with others. We're again just trying to make people happy, or it's interesting too because the nodes I think recently or are about to, I think they already did switch out of Scorpio and Taurus and into Libra and Aries. So it's like that's all that kind of energy. These are going to be the lessons for the next year and a half for the collective around like how do I tend to myself. Oh, it's so interesting. It's so crazy how like the theme, the collective energy in the readings just really reflects what's going on. It filters differently in the signs, but right as just the last few days, it's all been kind of about relationship and like choosing ourselves. So gosh darn, here it is again. It just so matches. Anyway, yeah, so then it's coming out with the Six of Cups. So again, that's the card of nostalgia. So that's kind of like, well, I'm used to it this way though. And it kind of pulls, so here's validating that message, just some of the social patterns that you have or that you're used to, apply it as it does, social, just outward with other people. It can kind of pull you back because it's like, well, this is how I always do it though. And again, that like what we were talking about with the routines being off. Well, this is my routine. This is how I do it. This is how I always respond with this person. Like I can't just all of a sudden be different. So again, that message of really pulling back for a while to kind of like set a reset, like, the whole thing like evolves so hard that they have to get to know you again. It's like you come back out and you're just completely different. Let me get another card. Yeah, let me do this deck. Okay. Oh, yes. You come back out and you are the Empress. You come back out from your reprieve, however long that is, trust your guidance, and the King of Earth again. And I love the King of Earth in this deck because in this deck, again, he's kind of that like crotchety Capricorn male. It's just like, this is just how I do things. But here he's just like, hello, would you like to join my paradise? Look at what I have built. I have it all, and you are welcome to it because I am so anchored in this new energy that I'm solid in it, and everybody can come and play in my garden. Everybody can come and play in my garden in celebration. So it's like when you come back out, you're that Empress energy where, she's in her power. She has everything. She's kind of similar, she has everything she needs, but in this sort of feminine energy of like it's all right here. It's all right here. I have my cat. I have my cake. I have my, it's like, okay, so the Taurian energy, the six, the earth energy, the 6, is the Empress the sixth card? No, she's 3. Anyway, yeah, to me, it kind of goes together, that goddess energy, that goddess abundant, the green, the verdant, this is what you come out with, and nothing can shake you. So, okay, 18 minutes. I'm going to pull one more card off the bottom of this deck. Yeah, okay, so 9 of Pentacles. So this is, again, this is this energy of like you have everything that you need, exactly what we were saying here. She has everything that she needs, and he has everything that he needs because he earned it from inside of himself. So this is just kind of the closing statement. She's with herself right now. She's with herself, and she's in preparation. So it's the 9th Pentacle. It's not the 10th, it's the 9th, but the 10th is next. That's what comes next. But it's not even just the 10th that comes next. It's, it's this. It's the king. It's the king that comes next with you as the Empress energy, whether you're male or female, you're in that magnetic energy that draws everything to you. That's absolutely effortless, and none of these old patterns, none of the past is going to knock you off because you're taking the time to really be with you, to really pause, and to really allow this to anchor and allow yourself to receive even more. Like get the most out of this passage because you're in this really heightened energy. You're in this really magical. It's like you've done something recently or in your life that allowed you access to these higher realms. I mean, Raven is normally like you have access to a higher consciousness now. You've earned the right to more magic. And then the White Raven is just like, you might as well be a wizard, It's just the higher octave of that, like really, really powerful. This is what you have now. Like you unlocked something. So get the most out of it, even if it feels like a pause and even if it's confusing to you. And it might not be, you might be right on board with this. And this is, exactly what you're doing. And then in that case, it's just a validation and also a real clear kind of like, message of like, this is your power right now. This is your power. And it makes sense too with Sagittarius being the mutable fire sign. It's like you're out on the edge. You're out on the edge. This is the edge. This is the edge. You went as far as you could possibly reach, and now you're going to reach even farther. And it's like that's exactly right, because you're anchoring it down onto the earth, in this really integrated way. You've allowed your old patterns to leave you, have allowed things to shift so that you could come into this verdant, this verdant anchored, anchoring this higher energy for all, because the more of us that can anchor that energy into ourselves and then live it on the earth plane, the more that frequency is available in a real tangible way for others. So there's beautiful, profound service in what you're doing and in your ability to be out on the edge and to go first and to cross through those thresholds and to do what it takes, to really do what it takes, whatever it is, even if it's breaking patterns or it's just going into that fire full force, pulling it into you. So anyway, really beautiful message. I feel like I want to pull one more. It just doesn't feel like it's done. Okay, 5 of Wands. So yeah, there it is again. There it is again. Just a final message of like, there might be people in your life who are not really comfortable with what you're doing. There might be, so again, the 5 of Swords, I was reading this way, and now here it is again, the 5 of Wands, where you might feel some judgment. You might feel people taking it personal. You might feel people just being uncomfortable. You might be ruffling some feathers. Again, all the birds. And, that's okay. That's okay. And again, that can come back to this kind of energy where, it's just you're transforming, and that's the message of the beetle too. It reminded me of the scarab beetle that I saw earlier. It's like the rebirth, the death and the rebirth. You're coming out as this magician, and just if you need to let things go, just one more. Yeah, if you need to, I'm going to leave that there because that's a whole other direction. But if you need to let things go, well, no, it does make sense because it's the mission card. It's the Knight of Pentacles, the mission card. It's like the mission comes first. The reason why you're here, you have access to all this magic. You have the ability to reach the outer edges where others don't. But it's like that's what you're good at. That's your contribution to the whole. And although people might be uncomfortable, I'm getting chills again, they need you to do this. Your family, your loved ones, your exes, whoever, your community, they need you to do this because you can. So even though they're resistant, it's like the mission comes first. So just that final message of like, just don't let this drag you down. Okay, that's kind of where we started to like take a break because these people can pull you off, and you're in a really empowered space right now. You're in alignment with why you're here and what you're doing, and it's just gorgeous and wonderful. So yeah, so just forge ahead and thank you for being on the cutting edge and for all that you are here for all of us. So thank you for listening. I hope that resonated. If it did, I'd love to hear about it, and I look forward to seeing you next time if I do. Okay, take care.